Okay, now that we got all this done, and you know your homework assignment, I want to talk about something else that's pretty cool. So let's select everything that we already have on the screen and delete it. And that is Dingbat fonts. Now I've included one Dingbat font called Damask Dingbat 1. Now, the cool thing about TrueType fonts is they're already scalable vector images. So let's go ahead and select our font tool, and in our font chooser, let's make sure we have the Damask Dings 1 selected, and let's make it 72 so it's easy to see, and make sure our cap locks are on for now, and type the letter A. Now let's grab our object selector, let's make this a little bigger, and this just happens to be the same thing we worked with earlier. Now, we have to do a little bit with this to break this text object apart. Now, once we select this, you can see here on the bottom it says it's a text object. And as such, there's not a lot we can do with it. But what we can do is take this object and convert it to path by hitting Control, Shift, and the letter C. Now it's an object, it's no longer text. So, now I don't know why we have to do this in Inkscape, but it's Inkscape and we do. So while this is selected, let's come up here and ungroup selected objects. And you can see this change to 152 nodes. Now let's break it apart. And we break it apart by hitting Control, Shift, and the letter K. And now you can see each object is selected separately. So we can click off of this, and now we have all these different objects. Okay, pretty cool, kind of, sort of. It can come in really handy. So now, let's do two text objects with the same one, and the letter R, capital. And let's do another one, that's the letter E, capital. And we're going to make these a little bit bigger. And we're going to take these and break them apart just like we did before. So while this is selected, we're going to trace this object. So Control Shift and the letter C. We're going to ungroup it. And now we're going to break it apart with Control Shift and the letter K. Now, since this is just one object, let's go ahead and transform it away from text and make it an object. So only hit Control Shift and the letter C. Now it's just a regular object. Now what I would like to do is let's actually make a frame out of these objects. And again, you can use any of the fonts you like. One thing you can do is come up here and go A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z. We can zoom in. And so you could find something that you like even better than what I'm working with and make it your own. But for now, we're going to stick with this lesson and where I'm going for demonstration purposes. So let's take this guy and let's rotate him 90 degrees and maybe pull of them. Okay, I'm kind of digging that. So we could take this, duplicate it, mirror it, move them over, and again, what keys am I using? For big movements, Shift arrow. For tiny movements, Alt arrow. So we could do something like that. Group these two together. Duplicate that. And then let's move him out of the way. Duplicate. Rotate. And let's go ahead and mirror it. Zoom out just a little bit. Select both of those. Group them. Duplicate. Flip right here. Move it down. And do the same. Scroll over just a little bit. We're going to duplicate it. We're going to mirror it. And there we have a frame